Hello and welcome to my guide on Veteran Mealstorm Arena. This is for my friends and guildies who are looking to get their first clear, or maybe looking to farm this a little bit quicker. Just want to make a note here that I am not an expert at Veteran Mealstorm Arena. I think the best I've ever done is 5 deaths for 1 clear, and I do die a fair bit in the following guide, and I always die. So this is mainly to show that that you don't have to be super pro in order to get you clear on Veteran Mealstorm Arena, and it just highlights a few things that I like to do that helps me as an average player to get through Veteran Mealstorm Arena, and I think that people will find some things that I do in here handy to know and help them to get their first clear. Now coming up, we're just going to touch quickly on gear, skills and whatnot. I do expect people to have an understanding of their build and to have access to high-end gear or mats to make that gear. So if you're just starting out in the game, this is most likely not for you, okay? So this is, once you get comfortable in your build and know what you're doing, then this all opens up to you. So yeah, we'll jump into some gear and then we'll head on into round 1. Okay guys, just going over skills, attribute points, champion points, etc. So let's get to it. We are a dark elf. Yep, works well. Bad bonuses and fire damage, goes well with vampirism. I stay in stage 4 vampirism. It helps me with magic regen through the form of supernatural recovery. Very handy, allows me to run very little recovery at all. Going through some skills that I use, funnel health, great spammable DPS and heals you at the same time. Inner light for crit. Harness Magicka is our shield. Miraculous Resolve gives us a buff and also gives us an extra ability in the form of Spectre Bow. It's very good. Blockade of Fire, we'll lay this down for AoE. Our ult is Shooting Star, and it gives us ultimate back every time we hit an enemy with it, which is always good. In the back bar I'm running dual wield. You can run resto staff if you want. This is just what I run. So Sap Essence is our AoE damage ability. It also heals us. It's very nice. Again, Inner Light for crit. Siphoning attacks for sustain gives us stamina and magicka back. It's very handy. That coupled with the low cost of funnel health means you don't need any regen at all. We'll get to that when we get to our gear. Refreshing Path heals us and also deals damage. Generally we'll lay this down with Blockade of Fire and we'll sit in it, and it heals us, deals damage, and we let mobs come to us. Our Executor's Impale, obviously very good, and Soul Tether is our primary ultimate. Now for the first couple of rounds I think I do run Soul Harvest, which gives you 20% extra damage towards that target. It's very good for burning down, keeping DPS high, but we eventually move across to Soul Tether later on when things get a little bit heavy later on in the rounds. Just going into champion points really quickly. So in the blue tree, we have 100 into Elemental Expert, 40 into Elfborn, 37 into Spell Erosion. By all means, this is probably not the best. It's just what I run. I don't bother wasting money changing them around every time there's a new suggestion, but there probably is a better split involving Thaumaturge in there somewhere. Just keep that in mind. That's just what I run. And the green tree is the usual Arcanist and Magician. Reduce cost and regen, helps a lot. Over here is really where you would like it. Elemental Defender, there's a lot of fire, frost and shock, and because we're vampire we want to keep that up high. Hardy, light armor focus. I think I was experimenting with a few things here. just spreading them around. So that's pretty much it. Like I said before, this guide is mainly for people that know their build well, that know how to get information regarding their build. So that's why I'm not going into depth with this. So heading into gear, we'll head to our the main bar. I'm running at the moment 5-piece Julianos. You want to run 5-piece twice spawn star. I'd say is the best starting off 5-piece set. The extra health and the extra stamina just helps that much. And obviously you're going to run Mundus's the Thief and the Shadow with that set. But at the moment I'm just running Julianos, and you'll see later on when I die how a twice spawn star would have been better. 2-piece Molag Kina. We run this because we got high regen through vampirism, low cost abilities. It enables us to run Kina and run it comfortably. Jewelry of running 3-piece infallible ether. I'm testing it at the moment. I think it's pretty good. But obviously your willpower set there is going to probably be the better off and more accessible. And these ones here are all spell damage. If you do struggle a little bit, say you're not a vampire, or say you're a little bit heavy on your skill using, you probably just want to make one of them. By all means, make one of them magic recovery. Works well. So I've got an Inferno Staff here sharpened. It doesn't fit into anything. It was what I had. It's legendary and it's sharpened. As long as whatever you've got is sharpened, for spell penetration, it's fine. On the back though, because I'm running dual wield, I am running a set piece of Trux Pact, tried and true. Gives us the 2-piece bonus there. Gives us spell damage, which also helps. So when you are burning down with Soul Tether and Sap Essence, you're really hitting quite hard. So it works really well. Now, just before we go in, a few things you want to always do is you always want to have potions with you, and you always want to have soul gems, and you want to have your food up and have plenty of food with you, because you could be in here for a couple of hours or so. So you just want to make sure you have all that with you. Like I said, this is just purely a guide on how I do it. I'm just an average player, and as you know, just to show you just how I do it. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so when we get in, we're going to be spending most of our time on the eastern side of the arena. There's going to be 3 major spawns over here, one to the north, one to the east, one to the south, further around to the south. We're going to concentrate on the spawn just here for the first 2 mini bosses, and so we just lay down our AoEs and just sit in them, let the melee trash come to us. Just keep your AoEs down, keep buffed up, and just chip away at them. Let's just let them come to you, don't go too silly, go running around too far. First boss here, or first mini boss, is a Fire Daedroth. You can use your ult, dispatch him quickly, nothing special, quite easy, and it is the first boss. So we just stay on this spawn until we reach this, till we dispatch the second boss. Okay, so the second mini boss has been dispatched. Now we want to move over and work on the eastern spawn, because I find that this is where the most threatening trash mobs come from. So there'll be archers, mages, etc. You do want to keep up refreshing path. As you see, I don't do that here, and it gets me into a bit of trouble. Nothing that a dodge roll can't fix, so. But yeah, keep that in mind, because it will catch you out and it will kill you. I do like to save my ult here, so I don't use it on this Fletch Atronach. I save it for the final round boss, which is coming up afterwards. So once we dispatch him, we just chill for a moment, get our Magicka back, and then when we see the portal spawn, we want to lay down our AoEs, obviously buff yourself up, and then we'll proc Kina, and then after that we will empower ourselves through Mage Light, and then dump our ult. And then just continue to work on the boss, keep up in his face, keep AoE down on the ground when he teleports, so reapply your AoE. Use Soul Harvest to get our 20% buff against him, our damage buff. Just push him onwards to executable range, and then just execute away. Now you may have to go through another teleport with him if he does teleport, just depends on your DPS. Always repair afterwards. If you've died a few times, it's going to help. And yeah, that's it for round 1. Onward to round 2.